Hey guys, welcome to 6 2 Interest Vlog. So, in last lecture, we had studied the brief introduction of biopsychology, and I gave you the brief introduction of nervous system. So, today we are going to study sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system in detail, which comes under autonomic nervous system. Hey, if you haven't seen my previous lecture, please do so because I'm going to have a quick revision of what we looked in the previous lecture. So it's central nervous system, then comes peripheral nervous system, which consists of which has two subparts. One is somatic nervous system, and second is autonomic nervous system. Again, autonomic nervous system is divided into two parts, which is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so we are now studying the difference between sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system in detail. So first, introduction is what is sympathetic nervous system? What's its function actually? So as we have seen, its main function is to respond during stress and fight or flight response. And parasympathetic nervous systems is mainly responsible for body's rest and digestion response process and to control homeostasis. Homeostasis means equilibrium state of physiological equilibrium state. Equilibrium means like balance state of like internal balance state. It is called as homeostasis. Okay, so I'm also going to share tricks about how to remember all these points in the last slide. Okay, so let's move to the second point. So the function of sympathetic nervous system is to control the body's response during perceived threat, and the function of parasympathetic nervous system is to control the body's response while the body is at rest. Okay, so the third point, origination. Please note down that origination is important point. So try to memorize this. So the sympathetic nervous system is originated in thoracic and lumbar regions of spinal cord. Okay, and parasympathetic nervous system, it is originated in sacral region of spinal cord, medulla, cranial nerves 3, 7, 9, and 10. Okay, so what is cranial nerves? So cranial nerves are basically the nerves which you will see at the bottom of the brain, and there are total 12 cranial nerves which I have shared in detail at the end of the slide. So it's important to remember all 12 cranial nerves. Okay, so sympathetic nervous system activates response of fight or flight, and parasympathetic nervous system, it activates response of rest and digest. So what about the neuron pathways? In sympathetic nervous system, neurons are very short, right? It makes sense because during fight or flight we need a quick response. For example, if a tiger comes in front of you, you're not going to take a long time to think whether I should run or I should stay. It's just quick response. So you have short neurons in the sympathetic nervous system, and it is quite faster system as compared to parasympathetic nervous system. So parasympathetic nervous system has longer pathways, and it is a slower system because obvious when you are relaxing, then it's really gonna take like slower, like lot of time to get back to the fight or flight state, right? So imagine being relaxed and imagine being like having a tiger in front of you, so how it would be, which would easily make you remember this point that neurons in sympathetic are very short, hence the faster response, and parasympathetic it's long, hence the slower response. So the general body responses of sympathetic nervous system is body speeds up, tenses up. Isn't it obvious? Like uh, when you are stressed, our muscles are all tensed up, right? So we become more alert, and the critical all the survival functions which are not critical, they are shut down completely. For example, if you find yourself standing in front of a tiger and the tiger is about to eat you, so are you going to think about pizza or burger? No, right? I mean, you are obviously going to think about running away and like surviving and saving your life. So it's a fight or flight. So the this survival functions like digestion, excretion, these are shut down. But in parasympathetic nervous system, it acts as a counterbalance. Remember the point which I told you in the previous lecture. Para, you can relate it to the love, like how love is, like state of calm, and it counterbalances the whole system. Okay, so how about the heart rate? Sympathetic nervous system, there is increase in the heart rate. So when the tiger is in front of you, you are not obviously going to slow down your heart rate and be like, okay, please come, let's have a chit chat, tiger. No, it's not gonna be like that. So obviously you will experience increased heart rate, and in parasympathetic nervous system, it will be decreased heart rate. You can yourself observe it, like when you are resting, just observe how you feel and how your heart rate is. You will observe that it's like decreased, and you won't feel any palpitations, but palpitations mean increased heart rate. Okay, so you will observe the palpitations during interview or whenever you find yourself stressed. So what about lungs now? Lungs in sympathetic nervous systems, the bronchial tube dilates. Okay, so the tube dilates. The reason you can make up is because you will be needing more oxygen, more energy. So that's why it dilates, so that you can intake more air. And in parasympathetic nervous system, it constricts. Okay, so what about skeletal system? You remember, like, whenever you're stressed, you will find your muscles contracted. But when you massage or whenever you're trying to relax, what you do is you try to relax your muscles. This is the first thing anyone asks you to do. So it comes under parasympathetic nervous system. Again, I will give you the trick. Para equals to pyar equals to love, which is relaxation. So muscles are obviously relaxed in parasympathetic nervous system. And now what about the pupil? So pupils are dilated in sympathetic nervous system, which does make sense because due to dilated pupils, it's like the more light would enter our eyes, and the more we would like to see, because we are perceiving the threat. So that's one of the reason, and that's how you can remember it. And in parasympathetic nervous system, the pupils are constricted. And what about the gastrointestinal system, which means about digestion? So, as I told you, if tiger is in front of you, sympathetic nervous system would be activated, and it's not like you're going to think about food or anything. So it's obvious that your stomach movements will be decreased, and the secretions in your stomach will be decreased in sympathetic nervous system. But in parasympathetic nervous system, you have increased stomach movement, which means you will have normal appetite, you will feel hungry, and it would be like normal thing, the way you feel when you're like in a relaxed state. Okay, so next point is salivary glands. What about salivary glands? In sympathetic nervous system, saliva production decreases. Again, it makes sense. Like if your digestive system is not like everything is decreased in digestive system, then saliva is also the part of digestive system. Hence, it makes sense that it is decreased in the sympathetic nervous system, but saliva production is increased in parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so what about adrenal glands? Now, adrenal glands are like they are a part of the one on the top of kidneys. Okay, so they releases adrenaline in sympathetic nervous system, while in parasympathetic nervous system there is no such involvement of adrenal gland. Adrenal gland responds only under stress. So the next point is conversion of glycogen to glucose. So why do we need glucose? It's for energy, right? So when you are under stress and you're trying to escape it or resist it, you will need more energy to face it, to face the stressors. So hence the conversion of glucose is increased in sympathetic nervous system, but in parasympathetic nervous system we can see no such thing. Okay, so again, what about urinary responses? Again, you won't be thinking about excretion or anything during such stressful time. So urinary responses decreased in sympathetic nervous system, and in parasympathetic nervous system it's like normal, it is increased like in a normal state we can see. And the neurotransmitter which is released, like neurotransmitters are chemicals, again those neurotransmitters are classified. I will be providing the classification of neurotransmitters and the difference between this nervous system and hormonal system in the next lecture. So for now, neurotransmitter released in sympathetic nervous system is epinephrine or norepinephrine, which is adrenergic neurotransmitters. Like they provide you with a rush or energy to fight or flight under the stress. And in parasympathetic nervous system, it is acetylcholine. This neurotransmitter is secreted. Okay, so here is a mind map which is quickly giving you the important points of sympathetic and parasympathetic system. You can pause the video and take a screenshot of it and go through it whenever you feel like. When you're revising, instead of reading the whole thing, you can just look up to this and it will make sense. Like I told you, I would be giving you tricks to remember. Okay, so which are the things which are constricting, which are like constricts in sympathetic or parasympathetic systems? Okay, so we can see that in sympathetic system nothing is actually constricting. In parasympathetic system only you can see pupil constricts, the bronchi constricts, even then there's nothing. But again, digestive systems are shut down in sympathetic system. All the essential survival functions are shut down in sympathetic nervous system. All you want to do when sympathetic nervous system is activated is to run away, to escape, and your physiological response will be the way you feel when you are under stress or when you are afraid, like extremely afraid, increased heart rate, uh, dilated pupil, this. Okay, so you can save the picture, take the screenshot and go through it later. Okay, so now we are going to have concept check. This question was asked in net examination of 2019. So this is the question, and in future they could also ask you various types of question. Please do memorize the origination, which I think is important because it is something unique. And again, they can ask you the questions which I have shared in the previous lecture. So the first question is choose the odd one for a pattern of sympathetic activation during emotions. Okay, so we have to choose the odd one. After sympathetic activation, what happens? Okay, think about it, what happens, and select the odd one which does not fit in this answer. First think, then go to the next slide and check your answer if you have got it right. Okay, so the correct answer is pupil constriction. I hope you got it right. The explanation is extremely clear. Since it is sympathetic nervous system which is activated, you won't be like, you will be needing more energy, you will be needing more clarity to see. Hence, your pupil will be dilated and not constricted. So it's the dilated pupil which you will have, and hence the odd one is pupil constriction, and that's the right answer. Okay, so the second question is, what is the origination of parasympathetic nervous system? The options are A, sacral region of spinal cord, medulla, cranial nerves 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10. D. Sacral region of spinal cord, medulla, cranial nerves 7, 9, 10, and 4. C. Spinal cord only. D. Sacral region of spinal cord, medulla, cranial nerves 3, 7, 9, and 10. Okay, take a moment and think about this answer, then go to the next slide. Okay, so the answer is clear. The origin of parasympathetic nervous system is sacral region of spinal cord, medulla, cranial nerves 3, 7, 9, and 10. Now in next slide we will be seeing what this cranial nerves are related to. Okay, so remember the origination of both sympathetic as well as parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so cranial nerves basically I told you, which you will find at the bottom surface of the brain. This nerves bring information from the sense organs to the brain, and it controls the muscles. Okay, so the cranial nerves are connected to glands or internal organs, for example, such as heart and lungs. So we wanted to check what the previous the nerves which I have seen, which one those are. Okay, the one found in parasympathetic nervous system is 3, which is oculomotor. Then it's 7, which is facial. Then it's 9, which is glossopharyngeal, which means it has to relate to the throat or something. That's how you can remember it. And again, the 10th one is vagus nerve. Okay, so also memorize the numbers as well as what those nerves are related to. Like, for example, third one is oculomotor. So this oculomotor means related to eyes. Okay, and seventh one you obviously know it's facial. Okay, so just go through this and memorize all the 12 cranial nerve names. Okay, so thanks for watching. Do subscribe and share the video with your friends, and stay tuned for more upcoming conceptual videos related to NET, JRF, set psychology, and for MCQs, which will be uploaded once a week based on the all the lectures which I will be sharing from Monday to Saturday. So do go through the videos. Thank you.